and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be taking you all on a tour of the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. I actually just got home from Birmingham just now because I was up there for another plant swap Midlands, which was so much fun. I had an absolute blast and I think everyone who went did as well. But I didn't actually bring any plants to swap, so I'm not going to have my normal plant swap haul video, though I did get a couple of very nice gifts from people. I don't have enough for a whole video on that, but today, the day after the swap, me and a bunch of my plant friends actually went to the Birmingham Botanical Gardens, and I thought it'd be fun to show you all around that in case you either can't go or in case it gives you an idea to go and see things for yourself. So yeah, before I get into that, I just want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along my plant journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around and watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's go to the Birmingham Botanical Gardens together. These are the lovely ladies I went with: Wholesome Houseplants, Happy Plant Collector, Flower Fairy Lottie, and Very Perlite. The first place we went was the Tropical House, and we were immediately impressed. Oh my god, the Ficus Audrey right here. This is where most of the plants that we keep as houseplants were, and wow, they had some really big specimens. Look at those leaves! There was also a koi pond in it with some beautiful fish, and in the middle of the pond was the biggest Thaumatophilum I have ever seen in my entire life. Oh my god, did you even see this huge monstera up at the top? And it was fruiting, which I've heard is really delicious.
It's been like guava and banana. Banana and pineapple. Oh, that sounds heavenly. I want some.
The Tropical House is connected directly to the Subtropical House, which is where we went next. It is another Victorian style greenhouse, but slightly less hot and humid than the tropical one. This one I noticed was really heavily filled with ferns, and they were all stunning. And there was this gorgeous round window surrounded by huge staghorn ferns. There was also an entire section of this glasshouse dedicated to carnivorous plants, which I would really love to try growing at some point, but right now I'm quite intimidated by them. Next up was the Mediterranean house, which contained mostly plants that I feel like are outdoor plants, so I wasn't as invested in them, but they're still really beautiful, and there were lots of fruit trees in here too.
Thanks. Oh, yummy.
And the last glass house was the Arid House, where most of the cacti and succulents were, because it is the driest of all of the glass houses. And I definitely feel like I appreciate this sort of glass house even more now that I'm into cacti and succulents. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
It's huge. From there, we moved on to the outside where they had some really beautiful tall trees, as well as a bunch of different outdoor sort of plants. And it was really fun exploring these gardens. Even though I'm not as much into the outdoor plants, I still think they're beautiful. We then found the aviary where they keep lots of different types of birds, like lovebirds and macaws and cockatiels, but I do kind of feel a little bit bad for the birds in these spaces because I just wish they could fly free, but the buildings are beautiful and it was cool to see them, so it's kind of an odd balance that I feel weird about it. We stopped at the cafe to have a bit of lunch. I had a delicious panini and chips, but there's also this gorgeous lawn where you could easily bring a picnic for yourself to eat as well. After our food, we continued exploring the grounds, which were actually pretty big, and just had a look at all the different types of gardens they had. Finally, we made our way to the butterfly house, which I was so excited for. I love butterfly houses and seeing all the beautiful butterflies inside them, and I was obsessed with trying to get videos of all of the different types I could find. There was also an area where we could have a look at the chrysalises, and I was able to get a butterfly to climb onto my finger, which I was so stoked about. On the way out, we had a look in the shop and plant center, where they did have quite a lot of plants, including some house plants, along with loads of other things like art, gifts, plushies, kids' toys, books, soaps, confectionaries, and general souvenirs. All of the houseplants were in this sort of greenhouse, and besides these carnivorous plants, unfortunately a lot of the houseplants didn't look great, and I wasn't really tempted to buy anything. They did have an okay selection, including some big melanochrysums, calatheas, cacti and succulents, and Sophie did get one of these peperomia ingens, but otherwise, I wasn't that impressed, and so I wouldn't necessarily go here to buy houseplants, but it was fun to look at them in the botanical gardens. So yeah, that was my time at the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. I had so much fun with my friends, hanging out, looking at plants, and just experiencing time in nature. I would highly recommend anyone who's visiting or lives in Birmingham, if you haven't already, go visit the gardens. I think it was like £8 a person to get in, which is a very good deal. And I think definitely worth making like a half day or a full day of it. Before I sign off here, I want to say a big thank you to the newest members of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon. So thank you so much, Amanda Stevens and Cosmo and Beyond, for joining in over there on my Patreon. I really hope you enjoy it. If anyone else is interested in joining, head over to the link down below in the description and you can get some bonus content from me, which is really fun. But obviously no pressure. You don't have to if you don't want to. It just makes my life and me making this content a little bit easier. So yeah, that is it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and if there's any other botanical gardens or planty things you want me to like show tours of, I can do that in the future. Just let me know down below and I can hopefully make that happen on my travels or whatever. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Keep growing. Bye!